Hello from the Yarn Closet in Southern Arizona. I am Laura. Mitzi's wandering about in her diaper. Hi, do you want to say hi? It's Mitzi to Morky. She just ate a bug off the floor. See, diapers. It's Saturday morning. Good girl, Mitzi. Good girl. You want to see her? There she is. There she is. I'm in my yarn closet. I'm slightly tired. I didn't get a chance to do my hair or put some lipstick on, nothing. But this is as good as it's gonna get. Because I got a teenager in the bathroom, so God only knows how long it's gonna be. My hair was doing fine until I got out here. That's the difference in moisture. Let me see if we got a cat. Nope, that's a cat from in the house. That's the difference in moisture from one space to another. So on Monday, we went into Tucson to take my dad to lunch and push it back a little. Pick up my daughter because she was spending the night at the other grandparents. And so I said, I'm gonna just stop at Great Clips because remember how I'd cut my hair? Well, I knew in the back that it was a bit curved and I wanted it just blunt because I like just a blunt cut because I'm of a certain age, things have thinned out. That gives you the most thickness and I like it because I have thin, fine hair. Anyway, don't ask me how she did this without me catching that she was doing a shit ton of layers. And they're the layers where the top layer is shortest and then it's longest, closest at the underneath. I hate that style. I've always hated that style. I will tell you how she did it. I'm blind, people. I'm legally blind. So I can tell she's back there, but she's not like pulling the hair up and doing layers like they normally do. She's doing something while it's pretty close and down. I think she was using a razor blade because I wasn't hearing snip, snip, snips. And so it's really, really choppy and really, really choppy. I can't stand it. And then she started to do this thing in the front and I'm like, I really don't need front framing anything. I said, I'm good with what it is. I just want you to make sure that it's blunt. I literally do not think she was listening to me. So anyway, it was cheaper than the regular haircut I got here, but if I would have gone here and spent more money, I would have gotten what I wanted by the lady. Now, the lady here occasionally has given me something I haven't been thrilled with, but you're so cute when you do that. Because everybody has a bad day, so maybe she had a bad day. So then on Friday at school, we had the teacher in who used to be a beautician. She got like a barber license to make it herself, get herself through college years ago. And she was explaining that this where the top is smaller and then it's longer is actually a style designed simply to be curled under. And she's like, it will look the longest to you if you just do it that way, curl it under. And she's like, give it a few months, let it grow out some, and then go in and get it chopped back like half an inch. And she's like, say every 6 months, go in and get it chopped back about half an inch. She's like, in a year, it'll be about this length, but blunt. Well, here's the thing, guys, as I'm getting all, and here's the thing. I mean, I have a hard time pulling my hair back in a ponytail now because of how much gray I have underneath, although I like it. When it's a little bit more and obviouser gray, like a good Bonnie Raitt gray. Oh my God, it is so staticky right now. I can just feel it. It's not bad in a ponytail with all the layers and the length. But you know me. I'm going to try to wait till summer. I'm going to try to wait and give it 6 months. I'm going to try to wait until June or July because it's January. So 6 months would be right before the start of school next year, because we start around the 20th of July. So if I waited and got a cut then, I could maybe, like, by then, just chop it off to here, all one length, and be quite happy about it. We'll see. We'll see how it lasts. Because I also don't like having to wet and style my hair every day. But when I do it, I feel better about myself because I've made an effort. So we will see. We will see. And I do like, I mean, the one thing it's got going for it is there is a lot of activity around my face. And we all know that that's something that bothers me. So who knows? Who knows? The hair saga continues. I mean, it pretty much looks very similar. It's just there's layers in here. Because this length down here, that's the point of all the layers, is about the length that it was. It's just, I didn't want the layers. So it's fine. It's something. It's different. It's got a little bit more movement to it. See, there's something I can tell because I am legally blind, so everything's really blurry. But I can tell that there's some curve here. There's a little bit of something. So it's not bad. And then it was an awfully slow week at school because there were so many kids and people out sick. So I did finish this. I think I showed it to you last weekend. I've been putting this over my chair because I have those metal chairs that I really love the style of, that kind of farmhouse metal dining chair. Except when it's cold weather, it's cold. They're cold. They're metal. They're cold. So I put this over. I've got a big sweatshirt over my daughter's because my son uses a wooden chair and my husband uses a big throne chair. He has to have a throne because he is the man. So then I took some of these are 5 cluster squares. These are 9 cluster squares. So I'm doing 9 cluster squares. I'm doing 2 bands that are exactly this. And then something else in the middle, and we'll see where that goes. And then depending on what that is, then I'll do maybe a 4th row along the other side, but I'd have to make some more squares. I think I would have to make 2 more squares. And so I am making a bigger blanket, and I'm using my Etsy from my dad for Christmas. I got this quilted barrel basket knitting bag. I love it. You can throw it in the washer and dryer. There is something in there to stiffen it, but I'm pretty sure that once I wash and dry it, it will lose some of that stand-upiness. So I'm waiting. And then, because it was so quiet this week, we had one day where none of the substitutes brought in any of the classes. So we got to do a lot of background stuff. I got to knit through a decent lunchtime. Normally we don't have a lunch. I'm a volunteer librarian at our district. I am the substitute librarian, but librarians don't take a lot of days off. So I finished my sweater. How can we make it so you can see it better? So this is Very Pink Knits does a tutorial of a Lion brand sweater. I think the tutorial is from about 10 years ago because this is at least the 3rd, if not 4th time I have made this sweater. I like it. People say it's cute. It looks good. I wore it one day this week. Shh. It's probably my child looking for me. I went ahead and started a few stitches smaller than the smallest size to get a kind of closer neckline, because that's what I'd noticed in the past when I'd made it. Following their measurements, trying to get gauge, it just never it was never quite tight enough. It started a little too far out on me, and I'm very narrow shouldered. So in most patterns, I will start in the extra small size if I'm doing a raglan, but then work to usually the medium size in depth here to get what I find comfortable in a sleeve. And I will tell you this, I hate the decreases in sleeves. I just have a really hard time doing two of the same thing. I've tried all the tricks, do the sleeves both at the same time, yada, yada. If I can get diligent enough to do the sleeves at the same time and not get interrupted, I can make two matching sleeves. But that's just something that doesn't usually happen. So for me, and because when I knit, I'm constantly interrupted, this works so well. You split for your sleeves, you finish, and then you just do a little ribbing. And I had a 4.5 millimeter needle for this, and a 6 for the body. Normally they say 1 millimeter difference. I went for 1.5, and I really liked it. I didn't even check gauge when I did this. I just did it so that I liked what I saw in my swatch. I didn't even check the gauge. I just went from there because I knew that I was tightening it up here, and honestly, I was just doing it until fit. And this did end up matching somewhere just in between the medium and the large size, which also tells me that this sizing is crazy, even in knitwear. It's dumb and crazy, absolutely dumb and crazy, because I don't even have an A cup. There is no way that going from tiny shoulders and no A cup that I should have to have that much, because when I was finished, so I knit it to the point that it was 18 inches across, laying flat, underarm to underarm, right across, 18 inches, and then it was 22 inches long. I know that what I really like is somewhere between, an 18 and 20 inch length, and what I really like is about that 18 inch width, because I do like something being a little bit tighter. I am post-menopausal. I've been post-menopausal for a couple of years now, so my menopause weight has started to, leave me. That is the joy of life after menopause. And after this was lightly blocked, it became 16 and 20. So it's the exact longest I ever really like. It's just below my stomach. It's perfect. And I knew because it was open and designed to be open that the 16 was going to be fine. Problem being, the day that I wore it, it was so stinking cold in our library that I had to take paper clips, and shove some paper clips in it to close it up. Hi, there's a baby. Hi, little baby. Mitzi jumped up behind me. But yeah, I really like it. I might try to do it again in a acrylic, and maybe a slightly lighter weight worsted or a DK acrylic, and a slightly tighter gauge, because the thing is, I knew going into this with the blocking that my gauge would close up. This is not as loosey-goosey of a gauge as I was expecting. This is Maritime Family Fiber. This is not sponsored. They do not sponsor me. I just buy a lot of their stuff, even though I live in Arizona and they're from Maine. I love the feel of a woollier wool. And yet most of their stuff, even their regular woolliest wool, because they do wool from Canada, and they have some spins and stuff that are much softer. They have soft spun and whatever. Once you block it, it just does soften a fair amount. I've got a long tube that I knit up in something else that was supposed to block softer, and it just never did. So I think I'm making that into some over sock slippers. But yeah, I think this actually turned out really well. I mean, I'm keeping it. I wore it. I think I'll wear it again. It worked well with this turtleneck. I don't have a lot of clothes. I'm a very small wardrobe. I have a little hanging stand. I have no dresser. I have a box with my hand knit socks. And I have a little plastic box that's got, like I have one pair of pantyhose and some backup sports bras and, you know, my few pairs of underwear. I just don't keep a lot of stuff. Everything is hanging. I've got a couple of sweaters that are folded on a rack underneath. I've got a few pairs of shoes that I wear. I don't tend to have a lot of pairs of shoes. My daughter is now of the size and the age where she's starting to take all my stuff. Our front entryway that is family sized is predominantly her stuff. And that's okay because now her stuff's getting to the size where I can start. So I'm okay with that. In the next couple of years, I think she will outsize me. She's coming to the end of 4th grade. She's estimated to be a 6'1" woman. Her brothers are just turning 17 in a couple weeks, and he's 6'3". And then her oldest will be turning 30, and he's 6'10". So 6'1", not out of the woods for her, not at all. And I think she has one pair of size 6 shoe that she fits into, but mostly she feels comfortable in a 7, an 8. Depends on the fit. Like I have one pair of 8s that I gave her because they're so narrow. They don't really work for me. And I don't think they'll work for her a year from now. You know, not at all. So that's where we're at. That's been the knitting and crocheting for this week. I have had problems getting things to upload. I have had problems on Patreon. I've had problems with my Vimeo getting uploaded so that I can do the YouTube. And I'm just doing my best to work around it because I love our weekly chats. I love the commentary. I love my friendships. And I really appreciate your shares on a lot of my shorts and my dog and cat videos. And today we will be dog sitting here in a couple of hours. So I need to go do a little something with myself. And Mitzi's not sure she loves her cousins, but she tolerates it. And my daughter enjoys it immensely. So I think that's great. So bye guys. Look with your heart first. We will see you next week. Why are we not stopping?